Aloha and good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz. I'm joining you from the World Tourism Network in Honolulu, Hawaii. With me, as always, is Dr. Peter Tarlow in College Station, Texas. And today we have a special occasion where we're coming together. We're actually having awarded a Heroes Award to Mr. Manuel Flores, who's joining us from Mexico City in Mexico. He's the chief of the Mexico City Tourism Police. And Peter, since he speaks Spanish, will take over in a minute. I just wanted to maybe say a few words what our Heroes Award is and who we are. As you know, the World Tourism Network started initially with our rebuilding.travel discussion in March of 2020 after COVID became a threat to the travel and tourism industry. We had our first physical meeting, our only physical meeting, in Berlin, in Germany, during the ITB trade show in March of 2020. But the trade show never materialized, but our meeting in a very small setting materialized at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Berlin. And then this conference, or this discussion better, was continued by Zoom all year. We had more than 200 events, and in December we grew already to members of the tourism industry in 124 countries. Now, after December, we started the World Tourism Network. It was to structure the rebuilding.travel discussion a little bit more and find our niche also in the global travel and tourism industry. And the niche really for the World Tourism Network is to help out the medium and small guys in the industry. And we're, even though the circumstances are not so exciting, they're very sad, we are excited that this organization is in existence with now almost close to 2,000 members and followers in 127 countries. And one of the initiatives we started about halfway into the rebuilding.travel discussion was our Heroes Award. We wanted to do a little bit of a different award where we not only give awards to the ministers and to the same people that usually win awards, we wanted to give it to the real heroes in the industry. And there are a lot of heroes going through COVID and the COVID situation. This industry is upside down, and you cannot buy the Heroes Award. So you cannot pay money and get the Heroes Award. You really have to earn it. And that's what Mr. Manuel Flores did. He earned it. And Peter will explain this a little bit more. And we'll talk to Manuel to get some of the details. Manuel joins a very small but very exclusive club now in the world of tourism heroes. And we encourage others to to nominate tourism heroes. You can do this. We need at least 2 nominations to consider. You simply can go to heroes.travel, and you can even nominate yourself if you think this is a good thing to do, but you need someone else. And there is of course, no guarantee that you will become a hero, but we even recognize that many of the non-heroes are also heroes, because it is, the COVID changed the world, and many people going the extra step in travel and tourism. But without further delay, I wanted to give the microphone to our co-founder and co-host, Dr. Peter Tarlow in Texas. And Peter, you take it from here.
Well, thank you. And tonight is a really special night for me. I have known Manuel Flores now for a number of years. He is truly a hero to the world of tourism. He was the chief of police of the tourism sector in Acapulco, Mexico. He was able to take a really very poor group, not that poor meaning that they didn't have a lot of money, though they didn't have a lot of money, but poor in the sense that they did not have a lot of training, a lot of capabilities, a lot of prestige in Acapulco. And he turned it into a major organization that really helped to restructure the concepts of Acapulco. He gave the tourism police in Acapulco a whole new lease on life. And about 2.5 years ago, he went from Acapulco, which was once upon a time a major tourism city, but today is in a state of a little bit of a decline. He came to Mexico City, which of course in Mexico is the big city. It's the capital. It's not only the largest city in Mexico, but one of the largest cities in the world. Mexico City did not have a tourism security unit. And this was truly Manuel's baby. He went almost a year without a salary, worked incredibly hard, has been able to now create a police office right in the heart of the downtown part of Mexico City, where all the tourists are. Not far, if you know Mexico City, where the famous monument to the angel is. He has created a relationship with the foreign embassies, with all of the major hotels. We have trained well over 400 tourism police officers, and he's now earned literally the respect not only of Mexico City, which at least 18 million people is not a small place to begin with, but he's now earned the respect of literally the entire country of Mexico. And for those of you who don't know that, Mexico is the largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. Mexico City is the largest Spanish-speaking city in the world. So we're dealing with someone who has become well-known, not only in Mexico City, first in Acapulco, and then in Mexico City, but now literally throughout his country. And little by little, he's being known and for his incredible work throughout Latin America. This is a person who works tirelessly for the tourism industry and understands something that I have also been preaching for a long time. And I'm very honored to be able to work with him. And that is that without good tourism security, there is no tourism. And he understands that perfectly well. So this is really a tremendous honor. We're going to ask Manuel to introduce his two colleagues. English is very much limited as a second language for him. So I'm going to ask him to try to speak in English, but if he has problems, I'm going to ask him to speak in short sentences in Spanish, and I will translate and then go back and forth. So, but I should tell everyone he is studying English, and he understands that one of the key elements of good tourism security is the knowledge of the English language. So that's one of the things he's doing. An article was published about him today in eTurbo News, and he is also working toward his master's degree in tourism and tourism security. So again, I have so much respect for this man. He has worked tirelessly in a period of COVID and really wanted to experience everything, including he came down with COVID 2 times. So this is not someone he walks the walk. He doesn't just talk the talk. This man walks the walk. He does what he says. And I have to yell at him as a friend saying, okay, you've worked 18 hours a day, go to bed, enough. So this man is truly dedicated to his city, his country, and to the good of the tourism industry throughout the world. And so Manuel is really with great pride that I'm able to tell you that we are honoring you tonight. This is your night, and we are honoring you by awarding you a Hero of Tourism Award. It's I'm sure Jürgen will correct me. I believe there have been 17 other people in the world who have received it, but that number may be more or less correct.
Yeah, there's no one from Mexico. This is the
but
first
you are the
one
first
in Mexico.
person,
Yes.
and I believe he's the first person from Latin America. Is that correct?
Yeah, except if you consider the Honorable Ed Bartlett from Jamaica.
No, he's not Latin America. No,
okay,
he's Jamaica.
Then he is the first in Latin America.
So not only is Manuel the first person from Mexico to receive this award, he's the first person from Latin America to receive this award. So that means he has set a very high standard for people not only throughout Mexico, but literally from Mexico all the way to Argentina. They're all going to have to measure up to Manuel, and that's not going to be easy. So Manuel, congratulations, enhorabuena. We are really proud of you. Perhaps you can introduce your two colleagues and then just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Muchas gracias, Peter. Saludos a Thomas. Efectivamente, como dice Peter, el proyecto de la seguridad turística con este modelo inició en Acapulco en el año 2015. El día de hoy, pues nos toca dirigir, estar en la ciudad más importante y más grande de Latinoamérica, que es la Ciudad de México, con el
Déjame
enfoque.
traducir porque es mucho para personas que no hablan español. So he said thank you, and he wanted to say that his projects began in Acapulco. They've moved from Acapulco. They began in 2015, and then have moved from Acapulco to Mexico City, which is really the heartbeat of Mexico, the center economically and politically of his entire country. La palabra es tuya. Manuel, sigue, por favor.
Nosotros, gracias, Peter. Hemos trabajado este modelo desde el 2019 aquí en la Ciudad de México. Creemos que desafortunadamente por la pandemia se paralizó el turismo, pero también tenemos y sabemos que el turismo es el primer impulsor de las economías de los países que dependen del turismo. Entonces, si hay seguridad turística, como tú lo dices, Peter, que eres un referente mundial, va a haber turismo.
He says that he began this model that he's now using in Mexico City in 2019. He well understands that, of course, they had to take a pause because of COVID, which they had not planned on doing. But they understand, and they are getting the country to understand, that without good tourism security, which is something that, and I've had the honor to work with Manuel, and I preach all the time, without good tourism security, tourism itself will die. And so he is now preparing Mexico for the post-COVID era.
And I understand, Fadil, we're talking about now not only Mexico City. I think you're working on a national program. Is that yes. Correct?
Que también esperas tener un programa nacional.
Sí, sí.
Yes, he's now working on a national program. Palabra tuya.
Pues, efectivamente, este modelo, y yo lo comparto con ustedes, agradecerte, Peter, siempre tu apoyo, y les podemos decir que a cualquiera que podamos poner nuestro granito de arena en cualquier parte del país, cualquier ciudad turística, para ayudar, asesorar en la implementación de la seguridad turística, que es muy importante para esos destinos, también en cualquier parte del mundo. Nosotros de verdad contribuimos y agradecemos este reconocimiento que hoy nos hacen, nos dan.
As he said, you're right, Jürgen, that he's now hoping to expand this program across Mexico. Tourism is an essential part of the Mexican economy, and without good security, Mexico will not be able to be successful in its economic endeavors. And he's hoping to be able to bring this model and with all of our help to any part of the world that is interested in tourism security. So he's working very hard. I'm going to ask him if he would introduce his two friends. Si quiere presentarnos también tus dos colegas que están contigo.
Mucho gusto.
Manuel Ramírez Valle, director del Centro de Atención al Turista de la Policía Turística de la Ciudad de México.
Muy buenas noches, Peter. Gusto saludarte. Edgar Ramos Sabana, director operativo de la Policía Turística de la Ciudad de México.
Yes. So his two colleagues are people who work with him. I should say, in full disclosure, I work on a regular basis with the Mexico City Tourism Police. And so I know these guys for a long time. But both of them are as hardworking as Manuel. But truly, Manuel is the spirit in the institution that has now become the face of Mexican tourism security. And as such, not only should all of Mexico be proud, but literally the entire tourism world should be very proud of the sacrifice that Manuel has made and that his team members have made, because they work as a team.
And, Peter, I'm wondering maybe a general question now. Security, of course, is very important, specifically in a country like Mexico. But now we have the COVID situation. That means is there a shifting in the work emphasis to keep the destination safe through the COVID crisis.
¿Comprendieron? Quieren que traduzca.
Se cortó un poco.
Ok, que él dice, él se da cuenta que la seguridad es súper importante por el éxito de la industria turística, pero él quería saber si, ya que estamos en la época de COVID, si ustedes han tenido que cambiar un poco el enfoque desde el problema de delincuencia para problemas sanitarios.
Claro que sí, se ha cambiado todo.
Absolutely.
Ha cambiado totalmente la forma de que operan los delincuentes y la nueva normalidad. Sí,
we've had to change completely. Of course, we're not letting up on the problem of crime, but we've had to go to COVID and hope to eventually get back to normalcy.
y esta policía se ha adaptado a esa nueva normalidad siguiendo los protocolos, pero también no dejando a un lado el tema de la seguridad pública.
We've had to change our emphasis, but we cannot stop working on the issue of public safety. So we've added to our portfolio the need for health, but we also understand that the issue of public safety is essential, and we, instead of letting one go for the other, we're doing both.
And of course, Peter, there are certain regions in Mexico City definitely is one, where you have a lot of tourists and also business travelers coming. But then there are other regions like Cancun, for example. And the reason I'm mentioning Cancun, because the World Travel and Tourism Council, what is the organization to represent the large businesses in the world in travel and tourism, has its first summit, and it's a real physical summit in Cancun. It's under the leadership of their CEO, Gloria Guevara, who was actually the Minister of Tourism for Mexico before. And I'm just wondering, a beach destination like Cancun, having an event telling the world we're open and we can safely operate, what is his feeling about this? Does he think Cancun can function with stipulations in place?
Yeah. Now, of course, he's not in Cancun, he's in Mexico City.
Right.
No sé si comprendió la pregunta, pero le estaba diciendo que van a tener un congreso internacional en Cancún dentro de un mes. Él quería saber si será la primera convención física, o sea, con personas en cuerpo. Y él quería saber qué opina, si ellos tienen la capacidad para mantener una seguridad sanitaria para los congresionistas, o si sería tal vez mejor postergar este tipo de congreso para otro tiempo. Y le expliqué que tú trabajas en la Ciudad de México y la verdad es que no tienes nada que ver con Cancún. Si quieres opinar, perfecto, o si quieres decir que no tiene nada que ver con este congreso y por eso no vas a comentar, también tu derecho.
Yo nada más comentaría un tema.
I'm only going to speak about one part.
Referente a eso y a nivel nacional, puedo decir que ya ahorita se relajó un poco por la vacunación que se dio de manera general para las personas de la tercera edad. Entonces ya hay mucha movilidad sin descuidar los protocolos sanitarios que lleva cada estado y la federación.
The only thing he can say, as he does not know Cancun, is that one, if people who are senior citizens, and they're trying to now vaccinate every senior citizen, and you shouldn't come if you have not been vaccinated. Of course, even with those vaccinations, you should still follow the general protocols, such as social distancing and the wearing a mask. But he's not an expert on what's going on in Cancun, so he's going to kind of avoid that question.
No, I can understand and I appreciate this. But it looks like also Mexico is putting an emphasis on vaccine and it's putting an emphasis on visitors that come into Mexico, that they are fully vaccinated, to keep not only the environment safe for the visitors, but also for the local population. Right?
Yeah. Si él está hablando ahora en forma nacional, si México está dando énfasis en la vacuna y cuáles son los protocolos que está exigiendo de los visitantes o hombres de negocio que llegan a México para asegurar también la salud de la población local.
Como en cada frontera o en cada terminal aérea están pidiendo su prueba negativa de COVID para poder ingresar.
In order to enter Mexico, you have to be able to show a negative COVID test.
Y los protocolos sí se están llevando de acuerdo a su plan de vacunación nacional.
And they are developing protocols according to the national plans, which means they're going obviously from the most vulnerable down to the least vulnerable.
Cada estado, de acuerdo al semáforo epidemiológico que está, es de acuerdo a la capacidad o al número de porcentaje que pueden ingresar en hoteles, restaurantes o eventos.
Each hotel and each event has a limit, the number of people who are able to enter after having shown that they've been vaccinated.
Mhm. And,
Okay, perfecto.
and I really think, Peter, especially not only for Mexico, for any place in the world, right now, a destination can only strive if there's safety and security in place. And so that's
Está diciendo que un destino solo puede sobrevivir si tienen seguridad física y seguridad sanitaria.
But from my end also, you can tell him I wanted to congratulate him. We're proud to have you in the midst of these 17 individuals. We rewarded the Hero Award, and this is a good day for the travel industry, and hopefully many can follow your example in the world and to make this world a safer place for travel and tourism.
Y nosotros dos queremos felicitarte. Eres ahora parte de un grupo de solo 17 personas que han recibido este premio y que todo lo que tú estás haciendo junto con tu equipo están haciendo este mundo de turismo con más éxito, más seguridad y la posibilidad que nosotros vamos a recuperar y volver a la normalidad. Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Is there anything else we want to say in closing?
No, I just wanted to say anyone watching us live now on eTurbo News, you will find a copy of this conversation with Manuel and his team and Peter on livestream.travel. And of course, since this is an award, it will also be on heroes.travel. We have Manuel's profile already up on the website. So if you wanted to learn more about it, and we're definitely going to keep you informed on the eTurbo News site about the development of the tourism activities of the tourism police in Mexico City. And it looks like maybe not only in Mexico City, but nationwide. And I know
Yes.
Peter will keep us informed on that.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to going to Mexico at the end of May and going back to work with my friends there in Mexico City. So they're more than friends, they're family. Que he dicho que yo estoy muy ansioso de volver a México para estar con ustedes, que son más que simplemente amigos, son familia, y que están creando un mundo que es un símbolo para los otros países latinos. Entonces, felicidades. Vamos a mostrar esta película, este video por toda la noche, y hay una página especial en la página de web para los 17 personas que han recibido este premio, y obviamente ahora tu nombre va a estar incluido en esta página de premiados. Entonces, felicidades. Congratulations. Good night.
Good night.
Muchas
Thank you.
gracias.
Adiós.
night.
Ciao.
Gracias, Thomas.
Bye-bye.
Gracias, Peter.
Be well.